don't wanna play me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Up this magic with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do?
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Come on now, let's go!
Go. Ready?
54 Mike.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Stop your whining.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Wentz there to knock that one away defensively. Eric Kendricks.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's got Smith here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
To try again after the sack. Cousins, that's to Cook out of the backfield. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Wentz now to throw. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it?
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. 16 yards, a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To throw, it's Wentz. Got him in, open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing on second down. Cousins. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Deep ball for Jeffrey. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They go with Chubb on second down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Hey, empty, empty. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Listen. 55, Mike 55.
Now Wentz on third down. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. He completes this one to Mack. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A good pickup there at 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This is caught. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A run for Nick Chubb. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
I'm here all day. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. No.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Able to punch it in on 3rd down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Push him back.
To throw is Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now left side on the swing pass. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Cousins now from the 50, looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Cousins on target to Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Wentz. Looking long for Westbrook. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for D.B. Westbrook. Incomplete. Sets up a third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
A gain of 9. It's fourth down.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. From the 31, Cousins, and Diggs has it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But it's going to be second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Come get some.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On third down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
A 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
There we go. Pac-Man. Louie! Hey, Lou.
He's coming.
We got double up.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Wentz now on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Cameron Meredith, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A big play there for Philly. 41 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Play action, now Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Wentz going to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
I got him. Alert flare, alert flare.
third and long. It's Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Watch the 50.
Here's Cousins. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Going deep for Diggs. And now here's another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And he is all the way up past the 25. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking long for Westbrook. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On the carry, it's Chubb. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wentz. That's complete to Meredith. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Cameron Meredith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Check 4. Where's your hot? Where's your hot?
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the fourth quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Army. Check nickel. Hey, check two.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Mike, 53, Mike. He can't hang.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to...
And that's caught inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
To throw, it's Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with it.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Eagles, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire...
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name.